Hey everybody, it's the Minister here with Kennabosa Ministries and KPOT. Hey, I really want to discuss the shooting down in Florida. I personally am quite tired of the violence. You know, there's no reason for children's lives to be taken like that. Even if it was a false flag to prove a point, you know, which is a possibility. We really have to look at that. And I'll tell you why. Is because I was watching an interview with one of the young ladies that was going to that school while being escorted out of the classroom with a bunch of other classmates. She was right next to the shooter. He had no gun, and there were still shots being fired. She gave that interview twice, 2 different days. And it was pretty much the same. And when we jump back to the Las Vegas shooter, where did he get all them firearms like that? Automatic weapons. Where did he get them? I can't buy them. Nobody should be able to buy them. It's ridiculous. You know, let's go to James Holmes and a theater shooting here in Aurora, Colorado. If you watch, and it's still on YouTube, there was a black gentleman that was given an interview the night of the shooting, and he stated that it seemed like the other escape door opened while someone threw the smoke grenade or canister in through that door, and then James came through the other door shooting. So there's a lot of reports. California, San Bernardino, the husband and wife that went around killing people in them buildings. At first, there were a report that there were 3 individuals. So there seems to be, you know, and don't get me wrong, these could be lies. In fact, the whole thing could be lies, according to a false flag. But is it a false flag? Are Americans' personality that evil? Are the demons here in America that evil that people are going around killing children in schools? I don't know. You know, and this brings up the whole duality thing. If we notice lately how clear and precise it is to see the duality in every argument or subject that we bring up, even, you know, Facebook's the biggest perpetrator of this. And we see this. We see these arguments. We see these false flags, these conspiracy theorists. But you know, when you're looking past it and you see that we've called this or that a conspiracy theory, and then all of a sudden it comes true. That's scary. Look they were going to release JFK's records because of the Freedom of Information Act. About more secrets involved, and they wouldn't even release them. It's, 58 years later, 56 years later, something like that, and they still won't release them. You know, you got to ask yourself why that is, and it's because whoever was involved is still alive. And since they stated that it would cause a national security problem, my best guess is George W. Bush, or the older Bush that served as president from 88 to 92. I believe he was involved. There are FBI reports that show that he was there, and he was a part of the CIA at the time. He ended up actually leading the CIA into his later years, and then becoming vice president and then president. And a lot of people don't realize this, but this man's father was a Nazi. Tell me that his father's ideals did not rub up on his children. We live in a very weird country right now, folks. Yeah, you can go ahead and talk all the pride you want. Oh, we're this and we're that, but you're not. Most of this country is nothing but a bunch of warmongering, violent, sexists, weirdos. So far to the right or left, Christian or not, it doesn't matter. In fact, Christianity is probably one of the biggest foregoers and violent causers in our country. But we need to discuss this amongst ourselves about this gun thing. Is it the accessibility to the guns that's helping to create the number of people being murdered at the time? Of course it is. This is ridiculous that you don't see that. Now, what are the percentages of violent gun crimes? It's actually pretty low. You know what I mean? We really don't lose a whole lot of people, but wouldn't you say anyone being lost to gun violence is too many? No, most of you don't. As long as it's a low number, you're pretty happy with that, aren't you? Oh, yay! We'll get to keep our guns. Yay. I really don't know. Because honestly, if our enemy does comes, another country with a military with automatic weapons, high-powered automatic weapons, tanks, grenades, I really do wish that we would have then at least equal or greater than firearms to protect ourselves. I know a lot of you agree the same way, but now what do? We come to this crossroad, this violent, bloody crossroad, where we're losing all of our children. Well, maybe not all of them, but a good deal of our children to this violence. You know, are we going to be afraid to send them to school anymore? Is that what this is about, maybe? You know, maybe some ploy to get privatization into schools more? No more public school systems? I'm having a hard time. I can throw all kinds of crap out there. But I want to know. And I know there's a lot of people out there that want to know. Maybe we should at least stop the production and sale of the AR-15 just to anybody. You know what I mean? Make it to the sale of only people that are approved of a higher firearm explosives level. You know, when it comes to getting what you're able to legally handle, you know, here in the United States, you have to apply for it. So maybe the AR-15 should be set to the higher levels to obtain, you know, weapons as such. Yes, I understand it's a semi-automatic. I was in the military. I grew up on weapons, all right? I fired my first shotgun at the age of 7 or 8 years old. So I do know about weapons. This isn't anything to do about that. This has got to do about our brothers and sisters that are next to us. The human beings, you know? You can go ahead and state that, oh, but that's what we're doing is to protect our brothers and sisters. No, you do it because you're scared, because you're a fearmonger, which then makes you a warmonger because you're so scared of everybody else. But don't you think you should kind of be the way you treat everybody else? Anyways, you know, guys, again, a serious conversation that only needs to be had, but there's something that needs to be done. Now, here in Colorado, we got places that allow our teachers to carry guns into the schools. Yeah. So I got a feeling that's probably why we don't see it much anymore. But it needs to happen in all the schools if that's the way we're going to do it. If we're going to protect our children by allowing teachers to bring guns into schools. And, you know, I got one thing to notice. You notice a lot of these shootings are happening in gun-free zones, you know, where people cannot protect themselves. This has got to be clear. We have enemies, not only here domestically, but everywhere around the world. We've caused the rest of the world to pretty much fucking hate us. So we need to find out and figure out how we're going to stop our people from killing our people. Is it possible? Let's make this another discussion at the supper table with our family. And I know that a lot of you mother and fathers have an opinion, but let's skip the opinion during the discussion and just start writing down the facts. The pros and cons, because I think that's the way it's going to have to go if you want any legitimate argument. I know emotions are high, but let's not go into that, all right? Let's not get emotional. Well, anyways, guys, this is the minister. Let's try to solve this problem together as a people, all right? Love from Kenabosa Ministries and KPOT. Yeah, you guys have a great day.